In the last 15 years, we've erected virtual perceptual systems and virtual systems of representing reality. Now, if your system of representing reality is not in accord with reality, you're delusional. And right, technically, that's what a delusion is. And you're going to run into trouble when you try to act in your fantasy and run into the world. Well, these virtual worlds that we've erected on top of the real world don't run by the same principles as the real world. And that makes them delusional. And that delusional element is affecting us very badly in a couple of ways. I just heard Jonathan Haidt this morning talk about some of the research he's reviewing in his new book. He shows very clearly that young liberal women, the probability that a young liberal woman who saturates her life with social media has a mental illness is more than 50%. That's how bad it's got. Yeah, it's really bad. But that's not the only thing that's going on. You see, the other thing I've been watching, and this is really quite frightening to me, is that one of the problems with online communication is it disinhibits the narcissists and the psychopaths. And the reason for that is that they can circumvent the normal control systems that obtain in face-to-face interaction.
Yes.
You know, and in face-to-face interaction, there's things you will not say or do because you will be held responsible, and maybe immediately. You can say whatever the hell you want online, and you can get away with it too, and maybe even be rewarded for it. And so you just think about the amount of criminality and quasi-criminality online. 35% of internet traffic is pornographic. And it isn't nice guys that are running that. Let's put it that way. There's an immense amount of online criminality. Like, most people are targeted by online criminals on a pretty regular basis. And then we just have the run-of-the-mill narcissistic psychopaths who generate anonymous troll demon accounts who are spreading misery and sadistic hate as fast as they possibly can. And there's no barriers whatsoever to them doing that. And so then when something does happen that's contentious, let's say, the sadistic psychopaths just make hay out of that, right? They're spreading their misery as rapidly as they possibly can for the lulls and the lulzes and to delight in other people's suffering. And the social media companies are naive enough not to regulate that. Now, regulating it's difficult, but it's a conversation we have to have, Piers, because I think, like, if we let the psychopaths, that's 4% of the population, whenever they get the upper hand, and that happens from time to time, everything burns.